Alright, hey everyone, Wonderbots here, and welcome to Final Fantasy VII, the remake, at least part 1. We don't have the whole thing, but that's okay. Anywho, so this is going to be, I guess, Shell's first foray into Final Fantasy.
Well,
and
I've seen plenty of my friends over the years.
True, but you've never played any of them.
Talk glowingly of the characters, but I've never experienced it myself. I was a Nintendo kid.
And, well, I have technically played through the events of the remake in the first game. That's where I stopped, and I also barely remember any of it. Because I think I got to the last fight, got trapped in some dumb barriers, couldn't figure it out, eventually beat it, got out to the Chocobo breeding thing, and I was just like, I'm stuck and bored, and I want nothing to do with this.
And we both seen Advent Children.
Yeah,
so...
we've both seen Advent Children. I've also played a little bit of Crisis Core, so, like, I have bits and pieces of information, but otherwise, beyond that, not much. So, I will have to remember a lot of plot details and be like, oh, I remember this. I know what's going on, and then I'm wrong. But the one thing I will say is, please, no spoilers. There are some people who grew up after Final Fantasy VII came out that are probably going to be watching this series. And also just a number of people that never got around to it. Not everybody had a PS1, and not everybody got around to picking it up on PC or anything like that. So with that out of the way, let's get going. Let's see. Probably keep it default. This is going to be weird. I'm probably... Do I want to be lazy and throw it on classic mode? Or do I want to do normal?
What's the differences between them?
Classic mode was the one where they fought without me and I just give commands occasionally. Normal is the one where I was actually button mashing, blocking, and dodging and stuff.
What were you playing for the tutorial?
I did both. Let's go normal. I'll do classic if I get lazy, or if we're grinding, because classic's a little easier. A lot faster.
I suppose I shouldn't talk now, because this is the true introduction, but...
And we might have to change the audio around a bunch, as usual.
The clothing and cars look ancient.
Yeah, it's very, like, 1940s, maybe?
Mm-hmm. I mean, that looked like a 60s car back there.
Yeah. I think it's just supposed to be kind of vaguely... Well, those bikes definitely look more modern.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, no. Oh, is that the plant?
Yeah, the Mako plant.
Oh. wonder how many thousands of people could live there.
I don't know. It looks both very large, but not that large. Hard to tell.
I mean, with
Big
the way
enough-
it's zoomed out, not much at all.
Yeah. I think my sense of scale is thrown off because, like, the buildings look like they should be bigger than they are.
Yep. We've seen Aerith back there.
Mm-hmm.
And this cloud. I only vaguely know what the characters' personalities are like, but I'm familiar with their names and their appearance.
Cloud is grumpy. Barrett is actually a pretty cool guy, with the exception of 2 Cloud, because he thinks Cloud's an asshat.
Tifa is a mystery to me, because I have yet to see her.
Tifa
in
is
news.
the tomboy childhood friend. The supporting characters I don't actually remember very well.
Mm-hmm.
Though they're personified very well so far.
This was part of the demo that we had played, correct?
Yeah. So this is all going to be very familiar to anybody that saw our video on the demo.
Get down here, Merc.
Do you know what's upsetting
What?
to me at the moment?
Hmm?
I'm wondering if our commentary for the demo will be better than our current commentary.
Well, that's usually the case, unfortunately.
Because we've experienced this before.
Like, I generally don't like replaying things, and this would be the 3rd time we've been through this.
Mm-hmm.
You're up.
Well, the first demo that we had ever played, we just fought one of the first bosses.
Don't think so.
No, we fought the same boss.
Oh, well, it was the same boss.
It was a curtailed version of the
End of
intro
the
to this
demo.
area. Like, they shortened it so you didn't do quite as much. I don't think you fought any dogs or anything like that either.
Who in the hell? Hands
I love these guys' designs, but they're like, the front of the helmet sticks out a little bit too much and it looks really strange.
It's probably their optics.
Yeah, it is their optics, but it feels like they must have like crazy like they have binocular vision. I can't imagine it's easy to see what's going on.
Well, I think it might be one of those instances in which they want the capacity to have binocular vision if need be. But
True.
that the lenses can change on the interior.
It's just so big. It's just so much.
Yeah.
I might miss a tutorial or two, but I think I pretty much have it down. I just don't want to read the tutorials again.
Drop the weapon.
You got this.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah. And if anything could be gleaned from that intro, it's that essence or energy that they're using. It
coming
just
with
seems
us.
like it's
Can't get
spiritual in nature.
Shoot me, baby. That just sassy kick the dude did. He's just like, eh.
So
No, I
is,
didn't-
is it like Spirits Within, where it's the essence of the
Yeah.
earth?
I believe Spirits Within came out vaguely at about the same time. And so,
Wait, I thought Spirits Within was 2000.
you're right. But they came out kind of in the same general era. Like, my assumption is whoever was in charge of Spirits Within was either common between both groups or saw what they were working on in 7 and that... Because 7 absolutely felt like the kind of basis in terms of, like, the live stream and a bunch of other things. Because no other Final Fantasy game really gets into the whole live stream thing. There's kind of like the Faith, which is separate in 10.
It
Eight-
seems like so many of them focused on the summons as opposed to...
Yeah. 6 and 8 were, well, no. 6 had the biggest focus on the summons to some degree just because they were characters. Followed by 10 because that was Yuna's like goal to collect all the summons, gotta catch them all. Let's see, right. Break the boxes too. 12 didn't really care too much about the summons from what I remember. It was more about, like, that was political squabbles.
Yeah, definitely a lot of politics.
So what's Soldier Boy's deal? Is he one of us now? He's got balls, this, what was his name again?
Cloud Strife.
Right.
And he isn't a soldier anymore. Still, he's a professional, unlike the rest of us. I'm glad to have him.
This is a one-time gig. When it's done, we're done.
Really enjoy to work with them.
I love the fact that it's Biggs and Wedge. Every Final Fantasy game has them, I think. Same thing
Really?
with Sid, yeah.
With it, El Cid.
On the same page.
Well, no, it's not El Cid, it's just Sid.
He just has different Cid names.
Yeah, I think El Cid is something else. Maybe? I don't know.
You'll keep us safe.
Give it a rest.
Right, Cloud?
Must have been fans of Star Wars.
I think so, yeah. Okay, main menu. So I'm going to check System DLC. Cactuar.
Wait, you have these?
Chocobo Chick, yeah, pre-order stuff. And
No. Oh, it looks like a Pomeranian.
it does look like a goofy Pomeranian.
Oh, why? I love Carbuncle as a design, and the fact that in previous versions of Final Fantasy, Carbuncle looked an awful lot like a squirrel, cat, fox.
Yeah. Oh man, speaking of, Carbuncle is the reason why I stopped playing Final Fantasy VIII.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly because I found out I had missed getting Carbuncle. You're supposed to draw it off one of the bosses, and I never did.
Oh.
And there's no way to get him after that point. And I was so mad. I was furious, because, like, what was I supposed to be able to do? Now, I can't actually equip those materia, unfortunately. Sucks a little.
You might learn it later.
Yeah, I just wanted to equip it now so we could Carbuncle.
But
Let's see.
But Carbuncle looks like a tiny little yappy dog
I know.
rather
Bark.
than a majestic squirrel fox.
Bark, bark. I really do like their remake designs. They look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, nobody do something this crazy just for money. They may not think you're a true believer, but you know what I think?
Not interested.
What?
Wedge. You better be worth the money, Merc. Every last gil.
I really have missed cutscenes like this in games. Like, you keep playing games with really boring cutscenes. Where the characters just stand around kind of talking and, like...
Oh, where...
Get him, boy!
You mean you miss having dedicated cutscenes as opposed
Yes,
to
you're
just
first.
in
Yeah, with, like, nice visuals and stuff.
Get ready.
Right, and these are the Dobermans with the weird tails
Yeah, they're
coming
the
out of
weird
their shoulders.
displacer Dobermans.
Yeah, displacer is a good term for them.
Well, displacer beasts
Like,
have
They have tendrils. Yep.
they have two tendrils, admittedly, but yeah.
Not bad.
Let's see.
Found one!
Oops. Oh, we don't have anything. Did I kill that guy, or...
Nope, he
no.
fell back. He's gonna shoot you again.
Yeah, I'm just kind of ignoring him. The dogs are way more dangerous. Whoops.
Yeah, you're having some sparks fly off of you.
Yeah, I love the special effects. They're a little too flashy, maybe? But they look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Nothing to it.
I can actually remember to potion. There's some way to potion, I think.
Is it something that you have to access from your inventory?
I guess I just use the commands menu. I gotta remember not to hoard potions in this game, because it wants you to use them. So somebody was asking earlier, did I play Final Fantasy 15 and what did I think of it? I hated it. I actually, like, really did not like Final Fantasy 15.
I was immediately disinterested in it just from the trailers because it looked like a bunch of guys driving around in a car, and I didn't see any indication that there were any prominent female characters that were going to be party members.
My beef was twofold. There weren't any female characters, but, like, I could live with that. The story was a mess. The open world was, like, the first 5-6 chapters, and then you hit the second half of the game. I mean, maybe it was more than that, but, like, you hit the second half of the game, hop in a boat, and then just, like, the open world is gone. You don't explore the rest of the world, and all the villains, like, died off camera, and then you had to wait for all the DLC to complete the story to really understand what was going on. And that really bothered me. I didn't like that, like, much at all.
And it seems like while the main character's friends were interesting, he himself was kind of bland.
Yeah, he was kind of like, hey, people really liked Cloud for some reason. Let's do that again. And
Not
I'm
so
like,
fast. We've got company.
The story is forever incomplete.
Jobs
Yeah, I heard they stopped production on... I heard they stopped production on Final Fantasy 15's, like, remaining couple of DLC. I think they only had, like... I think they only had, like, a little bit left to go. But I guess either people didn't care, weren't playing it, or they just... Wait, wasn't it that Square Enix had, like, budgetary issues? For a bit.
Perhaps.
Oh, the director left Square Enix. And they canceled all the DLC. Gotcha.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Like, I wanted to like 15. I think if they had somebody else to sit down and be like, okay, this story makes sense, but it's disorganized and messy. Let's, like, refine it. I think that's actually an issue with Square Enix, that they've got a bunch of old studio heads that are kind of in charge of everything, but they don't actually have some more regular people to just say, like, man, that's a bad idea, and, like, try and rein them in. Like, they give too much control to their directors and producers without actually...
I just really wonder who came up with the road trip idea.
Nothing to it.
I don't know. The idea of a bunch of friends on a road trip is cool. And even, like, a bunch of friends on a road trip before getting married, also cool. Like, if I had friends that I hung out with on the regular, that would be something I would consider as a, like, hey, let's just go do, like, a fun thing for a week on the way to wherever the wedding is going to be.
But the issue I have with that is we're together all the time.
Yeah.
And we have no reason to
like,
part for a week and hang out with our friends.
I think I would have almost enjoyed it more if
I think the whole, like, idea of bachelor and bachelorette parties is kind of weird.
Yeah, I guess I just almost would have preferred it if, like, they had restructured the story so the fiancé girlfriend was actually just, like, one of the people on the trip.
Soldiers may attack on command, but I hear they make good guard dogs too. Bet you've seen a few reactors. So how do we get to the bridge above Mako storage? Ain't holding out on me, are you? Stamp scared to bite the hand that fed him? Or is he a loyal little doggy? Have it your way, Mutt. We can do this with you, or we can do this without you.
Different reactor, different layout. Depends when it was built. Never seen one like this, but I'll manage.
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to remember, but
Yeah.
something's stopping him.
Final thought on Final Fantasy 15. I liked a lot of the things they had going for it. Like, the open world was cool, the driving was cool, a lot of the mechanics were cool. It was just too messy for me to really enjoy it. Whereas, I think I'm a lot more interested in Final Fantasy VII, because I've heard it's very linear. Like, it's not pure hallway, but there's not a whole lot of, like, open world or, like, fiddly bits. It's just kind of constant progress. And as somebody that, like, doesn't really like wasting a lot of time, I'm pretty down with that. Because I'd prefer to have, like, a story that I sit down almost like a movie, with some gameplay here and there.
Oh, then you'd probably like 13, because I remember watching the introduction for that. Some guys were playing it down the hall in college, and it was just cutscene, fight.
If it wasn't so freaking long, I actually would like... Because I know 10 was pretty linear. There were a couple of open-ish world areas, but they were just, like, kind of larger exploration areas. Otherwise, like, yeah...
We're probably going to drag this out. It's just we've played it before, so it's one of those things.
Well, yeah, but it's also just like, I like talking about Final Fantasy because they're kind of great games. There's just, I don't know.
I'm watching you.
Yeah, you are. You know why all the girls like me.
3, 2. Damn, I'm good.
All right, so we have
Who's there? Door!
our bruiser, our hacker.
Wait!
Whoop. He's
It's
just going,
over.
typical.
That's my line.
Okay,
He's alone!
so we got mode
We can
shift.
take him! Make it rain!
Okay, Punisher mode, moves slowly, more powerful attacks. Counterblow every time he guards against an enemy's melee attack. Guard against
You've got
ranged
this.
attack, can't guard against ranged attacks or melee. Unfortunately, counterattacks are going to be a bit of a pain,
That's that.
but I don't need to care too much, I think. Let's see, there are good Final Fantasies and bad ones.
Then let's move.
He always knows just what to say.
Cut it out.
From my perspective, almost every Final Fantasy game is good. It's just a matter of, like, picking the flavor you want. So, like, I would even argue that 15 is probably really good, and for certain people,
I got
13
this
is
place
good.
covered.
It's just, you know, you gotta pick the one you like.
Simmer down, hotshot.
2 wasn't good. I will admit, I haven't played any of the Final Fantasies before 6. I thought 6 was fantastic. I would love to see a remake of 6.
It's a good thing I know someone who can get us the passcodes. Pity no one else at command will talk to us, but what can you do? And we're good.
Careful in there.
I absolutely
Well,
adore how they
what are you
did the
waiting for?
faces. They're just stylized enough to look not realistic, but well done enough that, like, they're believable. What game was it? Oh, Control. Control had really nice faces, but the animations were terrible, and it was just like, ah.
Well, that's another instance of having...
So, you know Tifa, right? It's not really my business, but are you guys close?
Oh.
Oh, these are new bits.
Yeah, we haven't seen this before.
They've added a couple bit, like the...
Cutscenes. Yeah, they didn't want to show them in the
I
demo.
don't remember Barrett yelling at us about us being a mutt
So he lived...
in a village with Tifa, yeah.
Oh.
Like a
Are you
mountain village.
ignoring me?
Tifa and I.
I do find her boob plates to be hilarious. They're just a little too pointy.
Ooh.
I love
Villains,
that
I
visual.
assume?
The black with the gold trim and a little bit of red.
Mm-hmm.
These sewer rats appear to call themselves Avalanche, sir. We are currently investigating whether they belong to the same group that made the attempt on your life. Rest assured, our inquiries will not take much longer.
This pump's sole purpose is to drain the planet dry. While you sleep, while you eat, while you shit, it's here sucking up Mako. It doesn't rest, and it doesn't care. You do realize what Mako is, don't you? Mako is the lifeblood of our world. The planet bleeds green like you and me bleed red. The hell you think's gonna happen when it's all gone, huh? Answer me! You gonna stand there and pretend you can't hear the planet crying out in pain? I know you can!
You really hear that?
Damn straight I do!
Get help.
Say that again!
I'd worry less about the planet and more about the next 5 seconds. Save the screaming for later.
Love the fact they gave him chest hair.
I'm surprised they aren't wearing
Our
masks.
lives are on the line now. You listening, Merc? One false move. And that happens.
Well, so much for having Cloud do all the fighting. There are some places a sword just can't reach. Just bear with him for me, would you?
Yeah.
Should have asked for more money.
All right, so this is where you switch to him so that he can shoot down ranged.
Gonna throw your sword at him? Let the man with the gun go to work. These tin cans ain't got nothing on me. Want some more? Duh!
So he's very familiar with Mako.
Yeah.
Or Mako.
Yeah.
But it makes me wonder if it's common knowledge or it's just something that a select few have figured out. Also, it seems like so much of the world outside the walls of the city is just barren.
Well, I mean, they've been sapping the planet dry for a while, so it shouldn't be that surprising.
So it affects plant life? Because I would almost wonder if you suck up enough Mako and eventually humans are incapable of reproducing, sort of kind of like the limited soul business.
I mean,
That'd be weird.
I'd assume it's something kind of on the same vein as, like, I don't know, like oil or anything like that. Like, eventually you'll run out.
Now wait, they're calling this Midgar.
Sure you could.
Yeah.
And someone said it was Nibelheim that was their village?
Yeah, so Midgar is the city we are currently in. Nibelheim
These
is
sound very Norse.
Cloud's hometown. Yeah, kind of.
Because it's Midgard.
Yeah,
And
I think they just picked the
Niflheim,
names. Because
right?
I don't actually think there's a whole lot of Norse overtones in this apart from a couple of the names.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's kind of like there's a finite-ish
Look what we
amount
have
of
here.
Mako.
A laser security system. Great.
Those things will hurt more than your pride if you're careless. They'll cut you down to size and then some. But I'm guessing you've done this kind of thing before.
Yeah. Figure out the timing of the lasers. Then, make a move when they cycle off.
Exactly. I'll go first. Nothing like a little danger to get the blood pumping.
Hey!
Just keep those baby blues of yours on me.
Okay, so...
Unless I had misread it. I mean, it would seem to be Niflheim, but I thought someone had written it down in chat with a B.
Yeah, I don't know. The Nibelheim was Land of the Dwarves in Wagner's Ring Cycle.
Oh. What I was saying before was I'm surprised that these guys aren't wearing masks if they have a lot of surveillance capabilities. In a city that small, wouldn't they be able to just conduct raids and eventually find them.
Maybe the... Yeah? I don't know how much of a surveillance state they have. It might also be one of those that these guys are just actively rebelling and or wanted to begin with, so what's the point of a mask?
Mm-hmm. But it's especially worrisome for, say, Cloud's case, considering he's a former... There you go.
Oh, I see. It does a 3 pulse. I was trying to get it between the tighter moments, and I wasn't paying attention. Is a total surveillance state? Yeah. I think the area that specifically Barrett and company live in isn't quite as controlled.
There might be certain sections of the city that do escape their notice.
Look. They don't call those things sweepers for nothing. They can wipe out a whole squad in seconds.
Not if you wipe the floor with them first.
These look like weird little engines.
We can take this hunk of junk.
That hunk of junk is a heavy weapons platform. If we rush in, we die.
Do they have a giant bell on their butt?
Need to hit it with magic. That should give us an opening.
Do you have a thunder ability?
No, Barrett does.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Brace yourself.
You might want to use magic then, because that's what Cloud said.
Yeah, I was mostly waiting for, Okay, that's... There we go. I was mostly waiting for Barrett to get enough, ATB gauge before. I was going to say AP, which I guess is about the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Enemies with certain attacks are dealing large amounts of damage will knock them off balance. Pressure will appear beneath them. When this happens, hit them a bunch, and then they'll stagger them.
Make your eyeballs pop. Hey, stop moving.
Let's pin it down. Give it all you've got.
Of course. It just had to get back up.
Oh, gets
So
back
we
up.
knock it down
That's
again.
okay.
No time to complain.
That echo is interesting.
Oh, when I was in the
When
menu?
you're going into the pause mode.
Abilities, focus shot.
Here it comes. Oh, you in trouble now.
I gotta work on my timing a bit better so I can properly block. Whoops. Close enough. Okay, when they're staggered, take more damage.
Now's our chance. Go.
Don't need to tell me twice. I'm going to enjoy this.
Abilities, braver.
Brace yourself.
Abilities, focus shot. There we go. It's braver. There we go. It's going to take a little bit of doing because I'm on the harder difficulty. I actually have to care about what I...
That was a fun
Let's go
slow-mo
down.
roll jump.
20-something?
First.
Huh?
Soldier first class. Doesn't go into the 20s.
The hell you talking about? I mean your age, not your goddamn rank. Though for all I know, a soldier's rank could be the same as his age. Mm-hmm. Guess that'd make you a 1-year-old, huh? Live and learn.
I do really like the banter. Like, from what I remember of playing 7 when it first came out, there were definitely some goofy bits, but Cloud was confusing. They've definitely made him a lot easier to understand in terms of like who he is as a character and what he's about. Let's see, how many potions do I have?
It helps when you're an amnesiac because then you're the audience is learning along with the character.
True. I would say Cloud is probably one of the best handled amnesiacs because he doesn't just have amnesia for no reason. He has
And he
amnesia
still
for
seems to have retained many of his skills and his competency.
and even a number of his memories. He's just very confused. And I think it's worked. Is the materia rendered? Yeah. So do you see the green crystal in Cloud's sword and the green crystal in Barrett's gun?
Yeah.
Those are materia. Those are kind of the customization system for this game and how they learn spells and some other stuff, which is really cool. Want to use a potion. Yeah, this is going to be one of those games that I actually use
That's
potions
our
in.
target, the reactor core. Gotta set the bomb at the bottom. Let's get down there.
Gotta look for everything. But I gotta say,
So if their aim is to sabotage the machine and stop it from...
Damn. I can practically taste the mako in here. Hurry it up.
Yeah, to stop the influx of Mako, then what's going to happen to the city?
Sounding like a jackhammer.
Scared, huh?
Huh, more like excited. I've been dreaming about this for years.
I don't think Barrett has a good plan. I think he's got a mild plan, but I think Barrett...
Because they're going to deprive everyone of power, electricity, maybe even clean water, among other things. So, unless they have a system... I mean, the towns outside the city might still be set in the old ways and might be able to thrive.
They absolutely are, from what I remember. Like, I would say it kind of almost makes sense. Like, imagine if you lived in a city and you kept seeing, like, your government burn down, like, miles and miles of...
Forest.
Yeah. Miles and miles of forest just to be able to survive each day. I mean, I guess that's not...
Imagine if everything was, like, wood-powered.
Yeah.
Like, just combustion.
And so you were just wholesale chopping down, and, like...
You think if we fell in, we'd sink right down to the bottom? To the planet's core?
No. The pump would suck us back up.
How comforting.
Oh. I didn't notice there's a bunch of water down there.
Well, that's the Mako. It's kind of like a wellspring.
See ya. Here it comes.
Let's see. But yeah, so like, my assumption is kind of like the forest analogy, where you can absolutely see the damage that your city is doing, and you know people live out there and are actually kind of doing okay. They're just not super rich, and it's like, well, do we just do this for the next like 50 years until there's nothing left, or do we try and stop it?
I suppose, though, you would have to prevent the ability for them to produce the machines that are ruining the planet again, and then also have a method for people to adopt other means of acquiring power.
Yeah, true. I don't think Barrett thought that hard about it. It is interesting to have an eco-terrorism plot as we get closer to climate change really messing us over.
All right, let's see if little Stamp really can bite the hand that feeds. Go on, do the honors. Prove to me you're the man Tifa says you are. That you're one of us.
Never said I was. I'm just here for the paycheck.
Then do the damn job!
I'm so reluctant to do anything. Oh. Feather.
What's wrong?
I'm fine. What about the timer?
Your call, Merc.
Do you want 20 minutes or 30 minutes?
Doesn't matter. 20 minutes mattered more in the demo. Or not the demo, in the original one, because you actually had to fight the boss on a timer. But it doesn't matter in this one.
Really?
Pretty cocky, ain't you? You double-crossing!
Heads up.
What in the hell?
I know Barrett just assumes Cloud betrayed them. It's like, come on, Barrett.
Hey, how the hell do we fight this thing?
It's got reinforced armor plating, but the internals can be overloaded. Lightning magic.
No other option, huh?
So So you'll have to use Barrett's ability again.
We barely scratched the damn thing.
Didn't I tell you to use magic?
Thought you were full of shit.
Think whatever you want. Just do it. Brace yourself.
Does he have enough energy for his ability?
Not yet. You can see his,
His little blue meter.
Yep.
Almost there. And he's
Hello?
ready.
Lightning magic? You even know how to use materia?
Of course I know how to use material. What kind of stupid question is that? Quit rushing me.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Did you
Barrett...
use it? Okay.
Yeah, I did use it, which is
stunned
why
him.
he's pressured.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on getting that knockdown meter. Unfortunately... Well, that didn't work.
Okay.
Where'd he go? Oh, he's
Deal
over
with
there.
that.
Guess it's my turn.
I think I'll switch to Barrett, because I do believe I get more ATB gauge when
you're playing the character
when
in
I'm in
question.
control, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! You see the damage I did?
Keep it up.
Thunder!
That thunder I hear?
I'm gonna have to use a lot.
Coming at you hard.
That machine has some moves.
It does. They animated it really well.
Barrier? Never seen this defense system before.
All right. I forgot we need...
Thought you were the expert.
So what's your brilliant plan, genius?
It's my time to shine.
Or go down in flames. All good.
Damn it! This thing is
Okay.
tough.
It wouldn't be much of a weapon if it went down easy.
Don't compliment the giant scorpion. Huh?
Thunder.
It
Oh,
didn't work.
I really like the banter in this.
it's pretty good.
Uh-oh. Find your party members on unblockable attacks.
Don't just stand there. Help me out, damn it.
Take the lead.
About damn time. If we don't change it up soon, this thing's gonna kill us both.
Less talking, more shooting.
How
Are you gonna
about let's lift from you?
Use more thunder?
We don't have much... it's fine.
Because unfortunately it has a shield around it by the looks of it.
Yeah, I think you just have to pop that off. Because I can't use Thunder on him.
Until it's gone, okay.
Damn pain in the ass.
Let's see. Abilities, focus shot.
Here it comes.
I missed. But yeah, if you notice, Cloud is currently shooting it in the butt.
I want to take control of Cloud at least until you can use thunder.
Could keep going.
It's fine. I just have to shoot it in the butt.
Hell yeah, baby.
Got it.
Now's our chance.
Okay.
Give it everything you've got.
Yeah, so
That thunder I
busting the butt up gets rid of the shield.
hear? Kiss my ass. Duh. Not good enough. We gonna let this thing keep pushing us around? I don't think so. Gonna make your eyeballs pop. Damn it.
Ow.
Well, looks like it's down. You're almost
down
at about
ish.
half. Yep.
It's
was
just
stunned
pressured
momentarily.
currently. Abilities, focus
Could
shot,
keep going if I heal up.
braver.
It's rather peculiar that it has a wheel in the front.
A weird crotch wheel? Yeah.
I mean, maybe if its legs are retracted, it could become some sort
We
of
gonna let
rolling
this
vehicle.
thing keep pushing us around? I don't think so.
It is an odd placement.
I don't see any other wheels either.
And why does it have a dick wheel?
It does.
Yeah, but why? Like, now I'm focused on this whole thing.
use it for? Just to roll around on it? I don't know.
Because
Watch the tail. You don't want to be hit by that laser.
Huh? So, what do we do?
Don't get hit. Take cover behind that debris.
Get behind the
Bring it.
debris.
yeah, I was trying to do the sprint button. I don't actually know if you can sprint in combat.
Well,
It's wide open. Gonna light it up.
there goes one wall of cover.
Can't hurt.
Ow.
Bring it on. Not good enough.
Okay. Let's see. Abilities. Thunder.
Coming at you hard and fast.
I almost kind of wish I could tell him to auto-braver so I don't have to constantly... Ow.
No.
So I don't have to constantly do so myself.
I have to say I like the music a lot. Especially the
I don't
the
think
chorus?
there's a single Square Enix game where I haven't absolutely loved the music.
Hey, it's doing that thing again.
Find cover and hunker down.
Again and again and again.
Like, I actually will listen to the soundtrack for Final Fantasy XIII every once in a while, even though I have never played the game before. Well, no, I played like the first couple, maybe the first hour or so of 13. If I had unlimited time, I'd probably be much more...
You'd go back and play through the Final Fantasy games.
Yeah,
Well, as more remakes come out,
I don't know if
Maybe
we're going to
you
get a
will.
whole lot of remakes.
How is this thing still running?
My assumption is...
because I suppose Final Fantasy VIII came out late enough that its graphics were decent in comparison
Getting tired of
to
that laser?
No,
Seven?
Don't
it's
get tired
only
or
a little bit
complain.
better.
And you're getting tired of my complaining, huh? Solid copy.
I think if we were to get a
because
remake,
I'm
it would
wondering
probably
what the
be 10.
cutoff would be.
We will never get a remake of... Well, we won't get a remake of 12 for a long time. I could see 10, just because of how popular 10 was.
At the same time, we had started playing 10 on the PC and it
Yeah.
still held up.
Yeah, it honestly did, because they could HDify that, and it would actually... It works. Let's see.
That thunder I hear?
Oh, they
Been a
already
while
did it in
since I
Final
had to
Fantasy
go all
Remaster.
out.
Yeah, people keep mentioning 9. 9 is the one with the little cat tail, right?
Yeah.
And they're really cutesy, almost chibi-like in that one.
Yeah. Well, that was the last of the, like, truly
When you get
cartoony
comfortable,
Final
you get hurt.
Fantasies.
Are you for real? You gotta backtalk me every damn time?
Yeah,
It's wide
so...
open. Gonna light it up. Kiss my ass.
It is going berserk.
It
Oh,
is.
hell. What's it doing now?
An auto repair unit. Damn it. We gotta take it out quick or we're screwed.
Oh, I am way ahead of you, Merc. When I get my chance, I'm gonna blow this bastard the hell up. And that's a promise.
Oh, and you can specifically aim at...
Yeah, I
leg
think
or
you're
two?
supposed to knock it down so it can't heal.
Follow
True.
my lead.
I could be
No
wrong.
time to waste. Let's take it out quick.
Let's see. But yeah, I could see 9 getting remade.
Don't look now, but it's
I could honestly also see 8 getting remade as well. 10 and anything after could probably just be run through an HD filter and look fine-ish.
And the really old ones they've made, what was it, handheld versions of? But
Yeah, those
maybe-
would have to... I would love to see a 6 remake, but I doubt it. I don't know. It'll take a while. That was a hell of a lot easier than the last 2 times. I think I'm actually getting better at this game. Somewhat.
shit, the bomb.
20 minutes until detonation.
You hear that? Damn thing showed you how it's done.
Come on, we've got to move.
Wedge should be covering our way out. Go, go, go!
But yeah, realistically, I don't think I want to think too hard about, like, what remake they might do next, because they're not even done with this one.
Uh-huh.
And they won't be for who knows how long.
Give me a break.
There's also the hope that there'll be new worlds and new characters and new games to explore. Because it seems like we're inundated with a number of remakes and remasters and
you know what? I'm actually pretty okay with those. I think remakes and remasters are a good way for a studio to make more money, make their fans happy, and not spend a bunch of time working on something, if that makes sense.
I'm just as upset about it in the film industry especially.
Yeah.
Because the old movies hold up and are sometimes done better than what the new ones would offer.
At the same time, I would say for, like, video games and stuff, I mean, we played some pretty good...
Do I look okay? Help a girl out, would you? My hero.
Hey! We'll link up over there! Look after Jesse!
Come this way.
I love how
This
it's
route should lead us
paused
straight
for
to Barrett.
cutscenes.
Probably. I think I see an exit. Come on.
But yeah, it's kind of a mixed feeling. I think the video game industry has been doing a better job of the remakes. There's only a couple of remakes that I can truly point at it as being
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
just bad. Like, the Secret of Mana one was pretty bad. They phoned that one in. But if they actually put in, like, the effort, like with this game, or say the Link's Awakening,
You're not helping.
because, like, we played Link's Awakening.
It keeps me focused. I'll freak out
Well, they
if
also
I
had
don't talk.
co-op for
Out of
that,
your
right?
way.
Secret of Mana? Kind of. It wasn't great. But, like, the Secret of Mana did have co-op, but it was just awkward. They did add some neat, like, character building moments, but the actual gameplay didn't modernize well. Like,
Barrett!
they kept it too
Find
yeah.
us a way out of here!
But then
Ah,
Don't
what
worry,
are
I'll
those
be fine.
creatures?
I've got
Are they
Soldier Boy
machines
with
or
me.
organic?
I might be both.
They look like these little eyeballs.
X, Soldier Boy.
They're
They
here!
really do look like
Take 'em down.
eyeballs. They're called monodrives. It's like an eyeball with
Cool
pedals
it.
on a
5
screw.
seconds is all we
On a
need.
screwdriver, hence the drive.
Makes sense. Gosh, that is a brutal move.
The others awake. Gotta get the hell out of here ASAP.
Oh, right. More of these wake up.
You got that right.
Because why not?
Just make sure that you thunder them every once in a while, but it looks like Barrett isn't ready yet.
Yeah. But what I can do is double Braver, and it has the same effect.
Ooh, nice. Still think that looks very unwieldy.
The giant sword?
Because it is far thicker than a claymore.
I think the point is... Well, so the thing is, the soldier program, like, enhances... oh, shoot, I forget
Their
what they...
physical abilities.
Well, yeah. Like, straight up gives them super strength and some other things. Like, they are genetically modified-ish?
Let's go.
I forget what the specific thing that they used on them.
I mean,
was it just Mako, or
they
is it
could
something
use
else?
Mako. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
It is infused with Mako, okay. I just didn't remember if it was that or if it was something else. But,
I mean, I assume that anything involving this company has to do with Mako. Because, I mean, wasn't Barrett saying that he's concerned that Cloud might be a lapdog to...
Well, he was. For... he was a lapdog for Shinra for X number of years.
Did you go around the bottom of the staircase?
Yeah, I already went there.
Okay.
In the beginning, see how some of these are already open. It's the Shinra crates that respawn.
No shit.
Yeah, liquid makeover raises their body's natural abilities and guards. Yeah. I think they got it into it. It felt like they got into it more with Crisis Core, but I only vaguely remember Crisis Core. It was one of those games that I played a bunch, but then it was destroying my... It was like actively damaging my my PSP, so I stopped.
Oh no! Oh, because you were pushing
mashing
the
the square button too much, and that platform did not have the best build quality. It had a really nice screen, especially for the time. Like it blew the Nintendo DS out of the water, and even the 3DS to some degree. But the problem was just purely the buttons. Like you had to replace them if you wanted to do button mashy things, which sucked because between Dynasty Warriors, Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories, or no, it wasn't Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts, Birth by Sleep. There we go.
Like a rook seeing its first action. Get ready.
Now these guys, they have weird claw armaments. Are they even human?
They're human.
They have these odd clawed toes on their feet.
See ya.
I suppose they're shock troopers.
They are. They're creepy. We could actually look at enemy info, but I have no idea what we will learn there. Probably just their stats. Doubt lore.
It might be a little database.
Shut up.
Neat part is my Punisher mode
I see you.
lets me counterattack them constantly.
You're mine. Anytime now.
There we go.
You're done.
Abilities, focus thrust.
That's that.
So what else is left? Oh, it's just center guns.
Yep.
I guess spells, fire.
Need a light?
There we go.
Keep it together.
Guess it's my turn.
Shit.
During combat remarks, they're fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love the banter. I like the dialogue. I think we had the Japanese version when we were doing the first demo. And I was
Right.
surprised at how good it was. And then the demo came along and I'm like, oh man, this is like legit good voice acting. See, 20 minutes was enough.
Sir.
They're intentionally doing more damage?
Yeah, they're framing them.
But if it was their aim to destroy the facility, why are they contributing to even more damage?
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
Doors open.
But yeah, biggest explanation for why they're doing that is mainly just to make Avalanche look even worse. You know, destroying the interiors is like, oh, an
You might
attack.
want to make sure you keep following them.
Yeah,
Can you walk?
Help her up.
I didn't even notice
If
her
I
fall.
couldn't, believe me, you'd be the first to know.
I'll take that as a yes.
superhuman.
Okay, that was pretty cool. All right, come on.
Because, yeah, now everyone sees this.
Whereas the initial damage wasn't nearly enough.
No, it was just enough to disable it. And probably wreck it so nobody can use it. But this, everyone knows now. And no one will support them.